make a connection between practices, spiritual practice, and coping with dynamically changing external world conditions. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about if you would like to say something, about how to project value of spiritual practice to new people, and whether it makes sense to connect it to the times that we're in, the threats people are seeing. And how to do that.
This is a very good question. People have their daily concerns. How to survive the times they are in, both the larger world perspective and their daily lives. Their need for economic security, social security, and to know that the world they live in is safe. And in today's world, many people feel it is not safe. In fact, I would say the majority of people feel that it is not safe. That today's world is not a safe world for which people can live in. There is a looming sense of disaster. Ominous warnings from scientists regarding the impact of global climate change. All but the most closed-minded find nervousness in that, and realizing that it is not being addressed in the world today does not calm people's fears. They worry, what is the future? Is there a future? Some dwell on it more than others. Others stick to the immediacy of their situation. But that situation is one in which it is harder and harder to economically survive, and many people find themselves on the economic edge. Even if they do not listen to the news, the information about the climate crisis, the information about war and economic struggle comes to them in one form or another. In one way or another, few escape this knowledge. Some choose to ignore it, others to dwell on it. But whether they ignore it or dwell on it, there is a sense of a looming trouble in the world today. People do not look to the future with security and a sense of ongoing well-being. In one form or another, the world has become somewhat unsafe in the minds of many people throughout the globe, not in one country or another. It is a global issue. There is a great transition taking place, as you know, that stirs all of this to the surface. It is part and parcel of the transition. So the sense of instability is stronger in people's lives today than many times in the past. Though such feelings have come again and again as societies collapse, it has not been on a global scale. Spirituality is inherent in the psyche of every living being. Everyone wants to find their way to deep happiness, eternal truth, and unity in which there is absolute love, absolute safety, absolute calm and peace. This is knowingly or unknowingly sought by every human being, and in fact I would say by other living beings also. The desire to move towards the cosmic nucleus is inherent in living beings. And the longing to be one with the great is inherent in human beings. Knowingly or unknowingly, this deep unity, this deep love, this deep completeness is sought. Thus, when human beings find they are in an unsafe environment, the first thought comes for physical safety, the second for psychic and social security, to secure their friends and family and loved ones from whatever is the threat. But when the threat is global and vast, people do not know how to protect themselves and they feel vulnerable. The spiritual life is inherently sought by all. But people become confused and they seek it in pleasures of the mind and body rather than the development of spirit. They seek it in family and friends, in the love around them, which is valid for all beings are part of the infinite, but without the deeper perspective and the connection to the whole, there's great suffering that comes to human beings. In times of instability and suffering, human beings are most in need of spiritual counsel. And in fact, the very cause of the disruption is a spiritual cause, a lack of harmony in the human psyche with all life, a lack of a clear path towards the infinite brings disruption because the behaviors of people are not in harmony with the natural laws and the flow of the divine. The natural order is not followed, and thus the balance is lost. And all struggle. There is only one solution to this: to be in alignment with the whole. This people understand. To talk to people about what that means, to find alignment, to find dharma, to find ways to act in the world which bring peace and harmony, is something people need. And then how to find that peace and harmony also within they need. So no one is an island separated from the whole. You cannot separate out. Neither can spirituality be irrelevant or disconnected to the current life situation of people. People are interested in their life situations, their personal situation, and for many, the collective situation. It cannot be ignored. It cannot be discounted. To speak to people about the need and how to manage life with the stresses and strains of the current situation becomes critical. Spirituality is that which uplifts the human spirit. How to uplift the spirit if the needs of a person are not addressed? But for people to understand, there is a way of being in the world where calm can be felt amid the chaos, where purpose and focus can be held in the chaos, where love can be found, rather than hate and anger. Love can be found. Love for all living beings, compassion for those who cause suffering, but strength to overcome those causes of suffering. To act for Dharma. This is necessary if humanity is to survive. And there are many today who take a deep interest in spiritual practice, in meditation. It has become commonplace. If you ask 10 people, do they meditate? They will say yes. But what they mean by meditation may vary a great deal. At least 5 to 7 of 10 will say, yes, I meditate. But what they mean varies. Address people's hearts and minds where they are. Address their needs. And address the needs of the spirit. The needs to find a deep relationship with the infinite. Meditation is a good way to calm the mind, to be able to focus better. But spirituality is missing for many people. Though they practice some type of meditation, they do not understand their relationship to the infinite. They do not understand the love and compassion of the infinite. They do not understand that there is something deep, something profound, something great, which they are a part of. They do not know how to see the love that is unconditional in the very heart of all that is, and embodied in all the manifestations of this creation. This vision is lacking, this knowledge of connectedness to the whole, this knowledge of the personal relationship to the infinite is lacking in the society. People meditate, but their meditation is not of that depth. Give them depth. Give them something for their passion and their heart to hold to know that there is something more, there is a guidance there, a presence that is infinite, a love that is unending, and they have access to it. So gone are the days of simply saying you want to learn meditation and it will improve your health and your studies. Gone are the relevancy of those approaches to people, because it does not meet the need of the time. The vacancy is in the heart and mind, in the knowledge that there is a sublime greatness and infinite love that they are connected to, and that they have a means to connect, and through that alignment to improve the world around them. For every human being has an inherent longing for the Supreme, an inherent wish to be whole, a draw, a restlessness inside that keeps the searching going. And people seek through so many different experiences only to find after a little fulfillment their hearts are restless again. That restlessness requires deep contemplation and connection to love sublime. Spiritual practice is a means, but the mind must be focused in the direction of the infinite. Otherwise, the practices may not take a person where they want to go. Remember the beloved of your heart and move towards that one. Teach others how to do the same, to feel the presence of the infinite, to be supported in their own mysticism, in their own spiritual experiences. To dare to hope, to dare to love. To look on the bright side. These are the things to teach. Then meditation has its value to calm the mind, to open the space of deep connectedness. That love is always there for everyone. A shower of grace. It manifests in meditation, but it also manifests in loved ones, even in the kindness of a stranger doing a kind act to you. For the infinite is everywhere, all around you and within you. Teach people how to access this, how to find the strength to weather even the darkest times, how to learn values greater than material success, how to bring love to the surface of their lives. Uplift the spirits of people into hope, into love, into caring and joy. Even in the midst of chaos, the path of light is always there, to be followed, to be embraced, to the unity of that love of the infinite showers upon you, and grace fills you. Namaskar.